Before we get into the automation scenario, we're going to show how a customer experience assurance solution, in this case the Spirent VisionWorks CEA solution, can be used to proactively detect customer experience issues, troubleshoot them down to their root cause, and then take a manual action to fix them. Okay, so here we see a subscriber that's got a dip in its overall quality of experience score and has an issue with SMS service quality. And we can click to drill down into the root cause of that SMS issue. So here we can see indeed the subscriber has issues with mobile originating SMS failures and cause codes indicative of provisioning issues, requested facility not subscribed. And so what operators would typically do today is swivel chair over to a provisioning system to change the provisioning setting for this subscriber for SMS, or call somebody to make that change. The downside of this is that it's a costly, labor-intensive action to have to take by a human, and error-prone. The operator might make a mistake in the process, potentially making matters even worse. Okay, and just for context, this is what one of those provisioning systems might look like. It's showing the provisioning status for the subscriber as expired. And so what the person would have to manually do then is go and change the provisioning status to active. And what we're going to do next is show how we can leverage automation technologies to automate both the troubleshooting steps that I just went through and also the change to this provisioning system. So in our catalyst, we show how an orchestrator can be configured to automate the resolution that a human would otherwise take, like we just showed. Okay, so here the NetIce orchestration system in the design section is being configured with a service task that is associated with modifying the HLR when it receives a specific signature event recommendation and metadata from the customer experience assurance solution. Okay, and here you can see what it actually looks like when the customer experience assurance solution is automating that troubleshooting process and pushing a signature event and recommendation to the orchestrator to drive the HLR change. That message then triggers the task that was configured, which is now going to actually change the configuration in the HLR for that subscriber to a known good configuration, similar to what the human did. And ultimately, a command job is sent to the HLR, which actually implements the change to the HLR itself. And here we're demonstrating the record for that job once it's complete. And you can see additional information on the job here, including the actual command that was passed along to the HLR to make the change in an automated way. Okay, and finally, the customer experience assurance solution is used to monitor whether the action had the intended result, and if so, this path is promoted. If not, through machine learning, we can explore other paths and iteratively improve so that we take better actions in the future. Our second use case focuses on Tier 1 and 2 customer care operations. And here, as opposed to the zero-touch case where we've removed the human from the equation, here we're trying to help humans make better, faster, cheaper decisions, which lead to better outcomes in terms of customer satisfaction. So this is an example where, with the subscriber's permission, a Tier 1 agent has accessed the subscriber's records, and the subscriber is calling about problems with their voice service. And this allows the agent to very quickly validate that indeed the subscriber does have some failures with voice calls. They can also actually go in and see that there are some mobile terminating call failures present. There seem to be a little bit of accessibility issues as well in the time period that the person on the phone has outlined as associated with their problem. And most importantly, we have some signatures that have been detected for this subscriber over that time period. And what these allow the agent to do is very quickly hone in on what the likely root cause of the problem is and determine whether it's something they can fix. And if it is, they can fix it right away. And if it's not, it's valuable to the operator and valuable to the person on the phone if they just get off of the phone with this person and hand them off to somebody who actually can solve the problem. So in this case, it's pretty clearly a network issue that's causing the mobile terminating voice call failures. And what this agent would be instructed to do in this operator's workflow is escalate to tier 2. So that's what we'll look at next. And here you can see a tier 2 dashboard for the same subscriber and time period. And it provides a bit more detail in terms of exactly what's going on with the QoE and how it's trended, and a little more transaction detail and more detailed signatures and recommendations. Since this is a network issue, this would also not be something that even a tier 2 could resolve, so they would likely apologize to the subscriber, indicate that there's an issue with service in the area, suggest that they move to a different location or try again later, and pass it off to tier 3 for network troubleshooting. And while it didn't solve the customer's problem immediately or on the fly, it did save a lot of money by quickly ending a call that might have otherwise spent a good amount of time troubleshooting things that weren't the root cause and led to even greater customer dissatisfaction. So in this case, we're going to identify a case where there's a large number or percentage of subscribers with VoLTE issues on the network. And we're going to show how the troubleshooting steps that I'm going to do visually right now can be automated. And ultimately, the element responsible for this customer experience hotspot and its signature problem can be packaged up into an API call that can be sent to the orchestrator to create and route a NOC ticket that's sent to the EPC team in the NOC responsible for this element. And what I'm showing right now is sort of the typical drill down from customer experience metrics and VoLTE KQIs down through KPIs, failure cause codes, and serving elements. And so we can see we have an issue here with mobile session establishment for VoLTE service, and then we can go in and see, well, which elements are most associated with that type of problem and affecting the most subscribers. Okay, and we can see that this MME rises to the top in terms of the number and percentage of subscribers that it's delivering poor VoLTE experience to, and overall bad customer experience. And so we can also see that this MME has a very high level of the type of problem that we're focused on here in terms of the dedicated bearer setup failures. So what we'd like to do is package this information up, send it to the orchestrator so that they can create and route the NOC ticket to the person who can look into this further. Okay, and in this use case, the customer experience assurance solution is passing the signature event and recommendation tied to that problematic MME to the orchestrator again. And the orchestrator in this case is going to trigger a command job to create and route a NOC ticket to the NOC person responsible for that MME. And here we're going to see some information on the command job itself that's created to trigger that action. And next we'll look at the remedy system itself in terms of the ticket that's created. Okay, and once the NetIce command job is run to create the ticket is created and then routed to the responsible party for this element. Here we're looking at the remedy ticketing system itself, and you can see the ticket has been created and assigned to Sanjay, and he's able to see information that we got from the customer experience assurance solution on this network element and its performance issue and the subscribers impacted and the recommended action and signature ID.